Well, I was born and raised in Lebanon, which used to be the only majority Christian country in the Middle East. We were open minded, we were fair, we were tolerant, we were multicultural. We prided ourselves in our multiculturalism. We had open borders, we welcomed everyone into our country. We wanted to share with them the westernization which we had created in the heart of the Middle East. Muslims used to send their children to study in our universities because we had built the best universities in the Middle East. They graduated and worked in our economy. Beirut became Paris of the Middle East, the banking capital of the Middle East. Unfortunately, Jhon, we had welcomed people into our country who did not share our values. And when they would yell and scream how much they hated us, we didn't believe them. We thought, oh, they don't really mean that. It's just a minority, mouthing off. They don't really mean it. We refused to read the writing on the wall. My 9/11 happened to me in 1975 in Lebanon when radical Islamists blew up my home, bringing it down, burying me under the rubble wounded. I ended up in a hospital for 2.5 months. And when I was going from one surgery to another in the hospital, I would ask my father, why did they do this to us? And my father would tell me, because we are Christians, they consider us infidels and they want to kill us. So I learned since I was a 10-year-old little girl that I am wanted dead simply because I was born into the Christian faith and lived in a Christian town. I ended up leaving the hospital and coming back home, but my home was no longer the home I left. I ended up living in a bomb shelter underground in an 8 by 10 room without electricity, without water, and very little food. And that's where I lived for the next 7 years of my life, from the age of 10 till the age of 17, robbed of my youth. And it's ironic that I'm sharing this story with you right now, because watching what's happening in Iran and Israel's invasion into southern Lebanon, I grew up in that security zone, which Israel now is back in.
Right.
Here we are, 30, 40 years later, 50 years later, and that's exactly where we are. This is what happens when people turn a blind eye to evil, thinking it's not going to happen to me. It's over there. Who cares what happens over there? Well, what happens over there no longer stays over there. It's now right here. The world has become smaller, and we are all engaged in this fight.